Yeah, hello everyone, Pakistan fans. It's been a great pleasure on behalf of myself and Vern, our resident fielding coach and bowling coach slash batting coach me. But look, it's been a wonderful journey. It's been a very I think calm journey for the majority of the time. But going right back, Vern, to the start of inside that first match with playing India. From an outsider's perspective, looking in on that change room, I would have seen it to be something entirely different. It was very calm, very relaxed, incredibly centred, with a very balanced approach as well to such a huge match. I don't know what your first impressions of that were.
Yeah, I think it was incredible just to be part of the journey. First of all, thanks for having both of us, like you've alluded to. And working with the guys, and I think the two of us probably delved a little bit deeper, than just the cricketing part. We've really delved into the religion, into their backgrounds, and understanding the players, behind the scenes, gave us so much more insight into where the guys are coming from. And also, I think the mental state that they've really shown, those first couple of games, it was so calm, like you've said. It was incredible, and just the way they went out onto the park and performed week in and week out, or game in and game out, was incredible. It's a pity that we obviously got stuck in the semi-final, but for the most part of it, the guys were just super excited to be out on the park and performing for the country.
Have you got a highlight from a bowling sense?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I've obviously gone to Pakistan a week prior to the tournament, so I got to engage with the guys up front. I've also sensed a lot of maturity, going into this tournament. I think there was a lot of excitement, obviously, coming into this tournament, but there was obviously a lot of nerves as well. So, probably Harris, for me, is probably the one that stands out. Sahin, of course, he's a world-class performer, but I think in terms of, maturity, I think Harris is probably the one that will stand out for me. But yeah, it's obviously a journey. It's not going to happen overnight, and from our part, we probably won't change much in the space of a month. It will have to be an ongoing thing. It was just good to see, guys are slowly but surely start to implement, the way that we want to see them go about things. But yeah, it's a step in the right direction. I would say.
Yeah, I suppose the role of a coach is to become redundant. You want your players to take on board the leadership and the challenge for themselves to get better. And I sense from a batting point of view, that's exactly also what they've done. When you look at the performances, as you said, day in, day out, our batters were just brilliant this tournament. I mean, in particular inside the power plays and Rizzi and Baba. I guess those two, they set the platform every match, and T20 cricket's really about that up front. We've seen that with the ball, right? Shaheen, even the semi-final getting Finch trapped straight away. Those two magic balls that he bowled against India, just magic time. So inside that power play tends to be where you really dominate T20 cricket. The balance of power at the death is also very key. In particular, I think that 17th over through the tournament. From a batting sense as well, we were pretty good there. You think of someone like Asif, coming in and smashing, 24 off, not even 12 balls are needed. So having that power down the order as well. And we've got some unexplored talent as well, which for mine was, the thing that I really enjoyed the most. Looking at Cushy and the way that he played, these guys have got serious talent, serious power, and inside the power plays, that's really what's, very significant, I sense. But take us through the emotions of that last day and what you're sensing through the course of that.
Yeah, I think, having done so well, throughout the tournament, I think, there was obviously a lot of expectation. I think probably expectation from oneself. I think if we're being really brutally honest with ourselves, I think the moment probably got to us a little bit. Probably a little bit of panic set in, and you could almost sense it as well. I think we obviously got off to a very good start with the bat, like you've said, but that's been happening throughout the tournament. But I just think, in general, I could sense a little bit of panic set in, and especially in our fielding as well. I think it's one area that the two of us highlighted, that could potentially harm us or, get to us. It cost us a little bit in the final or in the semi-final. But I think, there's so much that excites me. the likes of Dani, the likes of the young Wazim, and I mean there's obviously so much back home as well. So from a group of players, I think Pakistan cricket is in a really good space. It's obviously this would be a learning curve for a lot of them. I mean, it's obviously a lot of youngsters as well. So, I'd like to see them use this opportunity, to learn from it, to understand, what it takes to perform, in a key moment at the key time. And, like we've alluded to, that calmness factor was really probably missing, in the semi-final. But having said that, I think there's so much, that excites one. And that one can work with. I for sure see a lot of success coming up in the recent future, and it's just how they're going to structure and really work with that talent pool that they have. But it's been wonderful to be a part of, and like I said once again, there's just so much that excites me.
One of the things that I said in the batting meeting was that if Pakistan were going to win this tournament, they would win with their heart and the heart of their fans as well. And for mine, as a coach, that's all you can really ask for, is that your players turn up for each other. They turn up with their own game in order, and they play on their instincts and with their heart. The scenes in the dressing room, it didn't shock me when you do play with your heart, just how when a heart gets broken and you go into a match with the expectations and then it doesn't quite come off for a number of different reasons. And then your heart's broken, and that's what really you saw last night in the dressing room. Just scenes of complete devastation. And, what more can you really expect from your players? And as fans, guys, you've got to stick with this generation of Pakistani cricketers, because they bleed for you guys and they really want to make sure that you guys are proud. And I'm hoping that that's what you are.
Yeah, I think, just to allude on that fact, we've been in a job for a month, but the amount of support that we've been getting from Pakistan fans, I mean, I even have South African fans who are supporting Pakistan now. So that's great. I mean, it's wonderful to see how you guys obviously unite behind this team. And like I said, they need all the love and support that they can find. I could really sense a lot of hurt last night in the change room as well. And, you only hurt, if you give it your 100%. And I do sense the boys gave it their all. From my side, I'd like to see that you guys, stick behind this team, and hopefully, they can go and win your trophies and tournaments in the recent future. Young leader in Baba, Rizwan, and they've been phenomenal throughout this tournament. Like Matthew has alluded, they've always set the platform, but you can just sense that support, behind the guys, and really thanks to all of you, supporters, that have really rallied behind this team and behind us as support staff. It's not an easy job to come in, and try and change mindsets in the space of a month, but the guys have been phenomenal. They've really bought in the bowlers meetings as well. I've always asked for calmness. I've asked for, each bowler to really perform its role, and I have to compliment the guys. They have been really fantastic. One game doesn't, of course, identify or, make a player a bad player. So we've had a bad game in the semi-final, but it's a massive learning curve.
Would you call it a bad game? I'm not sure you call it a bad game, would you?
Yeah, I wouldn't call it a bad game, but I'm just alluding to the fact that obviously the result didn't go our way.
Yeah.
So in that sense,
yeah.
We do play professional sports. So probably the one game that we got stuck, probably the semi-final. But hats off to Australia as well. For the way that they've played. We haven't taken our chances, of course. But there's just so much more that excites me again. So there's a lot more positives than negatives, and like I said, keep the support, keep the faith behind this team, and I'm pretty sure they'll do wonders in the near future.
Inshallah. Baba Azam has had a fantastic campaign as a leader through this tournament. I don't think he's really missed too many tricks in terms of his own play, and the best players are often the best captains as well. And for mine, he just was superb, very calm, very meticulous in his own preparation, and very thorough in the team's preparation as well. So I think Baba had a very good tournament.
Yeah, he's been fantastic, and that's exactly what you need from your leader, is to really lead from the front. He's led from the front with performances, with a bat, of course, and just he's had a massive sense of calmness, and you could really see it in the team talks as well. That he's really motivating, encouraging the guys around him. He's been fantastic throughout this tournament, and again, I'd like to see that the whole nation rally behind him and give him the support and love that he needs to take this next generation forward of Pakistan cricket.